We are going to look at the KASARANI KISIRANI, or what Kamodo used to say, KASARANI Kichinjio. It happened on 18th March 2002. Before that, there were two parties. There was Kanu and NDP. In Kenya's history, we have had two NDPs. There is the first NDP, which was formed in 1990 by Jaramogi Oginga Odinga and Salim Damwe, which was called National Democratic Party. But since that time, it was a one-party state by constitution. It could not be registered. And its sign was a finger up. That finger up was also the political sign for thumb up. Yeah, that is thumb up. The sign for thumb up was a political sign for KPU. KPU used to have that, and they would say, KPU Ndume, KPU Ndume. Now, National Democratic Party, which was started around 1990 by Jaramogi Oginga as the leader and Salim Damwe, the late, as the Secretary General, had the same sign, but it could not be registered because at that time the Constitution said, Section 2A said, that there shall only be one political party, and that party will be Kanu. So later on, Stephen Oludhe is a personal friend of mine. Stephen Oludhe started National Development Party. He used to stay in South Sea and he used to have offices in Hurlingham. I later talked to him about National Development Party. He said that he wanted it to be something to develop. That is why at a later time when he left that, he formed another one which was called Economic Party of Kenya. And he showed me a lot of videos where the principal component of that party is to create jobs and create businesses. So when he started National Development Party, and Raila had problems with Ford Kenya, he looked for a party with same initials as his father's party. His father's party was National Democratic Party, and Raila's was National Development Party. So Oludhe, when he gave out the NDP, he was asked to say what he wanted. He said he only wanted to be nominated unopposed as the MP for his area. I don't know whether it is Alego Songa, but he wanted to be the unopposed NDP candidate for his constituency. And after handing over the party to Raila, when the elections came, Raila supported Olo Aringo. So that is when Oludhe went and started Economic Independent Party, something like that, but of a similar name. Now, when Kanu and NDP went to join up, there were so many suggestions. There was even a suggestion that the new party be called Kandu. D having come, NDP. So Kanu will be KAN from Kanu and ND from National Development Party. but at the long end, it is Kanu that swallowed NDP. And among the two people who campaigned vigorously for the merge of the two parties were one was Saitoti and the other one was Kamodho. What they did not know is that although they were campaigning strongly for that, they were meant to be chopped off. In military terms, we have somebody called ADC and we have somebody called adjutant. All service commanders, Kenya Police, Kenya Police, Administration Police, National Police Service, Army, Navy, Air Force, KDF, all of them, a commander is given an ADC. The ADCs are not visible, but the ADC for the commander-in-chief is visible because he sits behind the president, always in uniform. It is only Ruto who, whenever he goes to church on Sunday, he has an ADC behind him, but the ADC puts on civilian clothes. But all other presidents since independence, be it even a birthday party, be it whatever, the ADC was always in uniform. Now the difference between an ADC and an adjutant is an administrative assistant. Meaning that ADC and adjutant, basically they are of the same rank, but the adjutant, he's never seen, he's in the office, and is usually the one who advises the general. He's the general's administrative assistant, and that he's never seen. But ADC, that is a special assistant who is ceremonial. That is why you see him or her behind the president and always silent. But in their lifetime, ADCs know more secrets than adjutants. So the ADC was aware when the list of officials were being made. The lineup was made, and during Kanu's days, before multi-party, whenever they used to come to the capital to prepare an election, to conduct an election, they would be placed in several hotels, and on the eve, at night, let's say around midnight, or just a few minutes to the day, somebody would go around and give them a list, and this is the list that is going to be contested. Secretary General will be so on, National Treasurer will be so on, Organizing Secretary, and so on and so on. So the list would be given 6 to 8 hours before the meeting. So this list was being prepared at State House when the ADC was there. When the list was being prepared, he was aware of those of my age. You remember there used to be a certain picture on each house which would say silent listener and silent observer of all what is going on here. Of course, that used to refer to Jesus, but in this case, it is the ADC. ADC silently watches what is happening, he listens and even doesn't talk. So when the list was being prepared, he was there. He had the president with his group planning who is to be what and whatever. And they left. 30 minutes later, Saitoti, who was the vice president, and the deputy party leader came. Nowadays they call them party leader and deputy party leader, but those days it used to be party president and a deputy party president. So he came and wanted to know whether when the list was, Professor, you are on the list, why worry? That is the assurance he got, and when he got that assurance, he left. Only 3 people knew the truth. Moi, of course, knew he was cheating Saitoti. The ADC knew that Moi was cheating Saitoti, and the Almighty God knew that Saitoti was being played. So the following day at Kasarani, Saitoti and Kamodho played a very vigorous organization of the place, thinking that they were on the list. And I'm reminding myself of an incident where Professor Philip Mbithi, the then permanent secretary in the office of the president and head of the civil service, had made a list of cabinet changes and took them to the president's office. What he did not know, that after he had left, there is a blank at the end of the page. That is where the president added that he had been relieved of his duties. So Moi or Kanu used to do that. They used to make sure that you are surprised. So it reached a time when, and Saitoti was deliberately not shown the list until when it was in Kasarani. After seeing the list and seeing his name was not there, he rushed to where the president was. And you know these things, if you cannot see the video, especially people of our age, we came to know Saitoti to be a very loyal person. It's a person who would not show his emotions in public or anything or whatever. So this is the the first time he showed raw emotions and confusion. He went, he was given the list, he saw his name was not there. He checked the list of the person next to him. He checked the list of the person who was next to him on the other side, and found that the list was the same and his name was not there. So he rushed to the president. Being the vice president, of course, he had access to the president. He rushed there and told the president, how comes that the list, my name is not there? And the president told him, kama jina yako hakuna, basi hakuna. Kimya, professor, kimya, kimya. I'm sure even Moi himself was surprised that Jonjo would act the same. Now, that is the system that was being used, especially during Kanu's time. And even today it is being used. It is called use and dump method. You are only important so long as I go to the next level. After reaching the next level, I don't care what happens to you. You either fit in or you don't fit in. And that is when Saitoti knew that his geese has been fried, he went to the microphone and said the following words. He said, there comes a time when the interest of the nation is more important than that of an individual. And I'm sure in future it will come to be proven that I'm right. That was the only thing he would have done. And that is and you find it is funny because Raila and Moi ganged up to silence Saitoti and Kamodho. But later on, I've just talked of use and dump. Moi, having believed that he has used Raila, he wanted to dump him. And Raila walked out with more people than any other person, including Kamodho and Saitoti, to start LDP, Liberal Democratic Party. This is what happened. Somebody, we have never known who that person is, but I encourage people to come out because that is how we will know. But I'm told a prominent member of the Luo tribe was sent to Raila's office. And he went and told Raila that Moi had decided that the 2002 presidential election, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was going to be the presidential candidate, and Raila is going to be the running mate. Then he asked the emissary to whether it means that when Jomo Kenyatta was running for the presidency, Jaramogi was his running mate, if we can call it that. Now, Jaramogi, no, their sons, Jomo's, the president's son to be the president and the vice president's son to be the vice president. The fellow said, yeah, that is what they mean. And just can it happen the opposite? He said, no, that has been decided. Then Raila held his forehead with both hands and looked down until the emissary left without even Raila looking at him in the eyes. And then he went, and that is when Raila now came out of Kanu. And when he came out of Kanu, it has never been the same. So as we commemorate the March 18, 2002, I decided to share my thoughts about it, my remembrance about it with you. Thank you.